Before starting Mufasa, the Lion King, we are shown a brief scene from the Lion King. In this scene, we see that Simba has now become the king of the Pride Lands, and all the animals have accepted him as their ruler. On the other hand, we see Simba's wife, who has lost her way and doesn't know how to get back home. She waits for Simba, hoping that he will come and find her. We are also introduced to Simba's daughter, Kiara. Simba tells Kiara, "I'm going to look for your mother. Until then, stay with Uncle Timon and Uncle Pumbaa." Before leaving, Simba instructs them to take care of Kiara. After this, Simba sets out to find his wife. Meanwhile, Timon and Pumbaa start telling Kiara stories about Simba and Scar and how Simba defeated Scar. At the same time, Rafiki arrives. He tells Kiara, "Today, I'm going to tell you a story about a king named Mufasa." Now, Rafiki begins telling the story of Mufasa. The tale starts in a time when there had been no rain for many years. All the animals were suffering from thirst. We are introduced to a young Mufasa and his parents. Mufasa asks his mother about a glowing light he sees in the distance. His mother replies, "That place is called Malil. One day, we will go there." At that very moment, dark clouds begin to gather in the sky. It seems the clouds are finally ready to rain. When the rain begins, seeing this, the animals become very happy. However, the water from the rivers began to rise slowly, causing a flood. The animals started running for their lives. Meanwhile, Mufasa accidentally fell into a small pond. To save him, his father jumped into the pond. After a lot of struggle, his father managed to grab Mufasa in his mouth and throw him onto the shore. However, Mufasa got stuck. His mother encouraged him, saying, "Son, move your paws forward slowly. You can cross it." But just then, an elephant, struggling in the flood, crashed into the woods, breaking it. This caused Mufasa to be swept away by the rushing water. He was carried far, far away from his parents. The flood eventually left Mufasa in a small pond. At that moment, we see a lion cub named Taka who spots Mufasa. Taka shouts, "Run, Mufasa." Taka warns Mufasa, telling him that crocodiles are coming after him and he need to escape quickly. Mufasa runs toward the shore, but Taka grabs him. Just as the crocodiles are about to attack, suddenly Taka's mother, Esh, arrives and saves both cubs from the crocodiles. Taka tells his mother, "I want to take Mufasa with me." Esh replies, "You know the rules. We cannot keep strays." Hearing this, Mufasa explains, "I'm not a stray. I am just lost. The river's flood brought me here far away from my parents." Esh decides to take him along. Soon, we meet Ubasai, who is the king of the Pride. Ubasai firmly states, "Our group's rule is clear. We cannot allow strays to stay with us." Mufasa boldly declares, "I'm a fast runner. I can even beat you." Hearing this, Ubasai replies, "All right, if that's the case, you will race my son, Taka. If you win, you can stay here, but if you lose, you must leave immediately." Mufasa accepts the challenge, and the race begins. Taka quickly takes the lead, running much faster than Mufasa. At one point, Mufasa falls into a puddle, but Taka comes back to help him and encourages him to keep running. If Taka wanted, he could have easily won the race. However, he tells Mufasa, "I've always wanted a brother." With that, Taka slows down and lets Mufasa win the race. Ubasai isn't pleased with the outcome, but Taka is overjoyed because he now has a brother. Before Mufasa's arrival, Taka was lonely and had no one to play with. But with Mufasa around, they become inseparable, spending all their time playing together. As years pass, Mufasa and Taka grew up together, developing a deep bond like brothers. Ubasai still considered Mufasa an outsider and never fully accepted him. One day, Ubasai told Taka, "The one you consider your brother will take everything from you. He will become the ruler here, not you." However, Taka didn't take his father's warning seriously. Meanwhile, Mufasa had become an excellent hunter. One day, he went hunting with Esh. While they were focused on their prey, Taka secretly followed them, observing from a distance. On the other side, two white lions also arrived in the area, intending to hunt deer. Just then, Esh spotted her son, Taka, nearby. At the same time, Taka noticed the two white lions approaching. The white lions had come to hunt deer, but Esh confronted them. They attacked her, and Mufasa quickly came to her defense. He fought bravely against the lions, showing no fear. Mufasa managed to kill one of the lions in the battle. Seeing his companion defeated, the second lion weakened. Afterward, Mufasa helped Esh and brought her back to Ubasai. Esh told Ubasai, "If Mufasa hadn't been there, I wouldn't have survived. Those lions were like ghosts, incredibly powerful." Hearing this, Ubasai said to Mufasa, "I am forever grateful to you for saving my wife's life." Mufasa replied, "I can sense from the direction of the wind that those lions are regrouping and heading toward us with their pack. If you don't believe me, you can send someone to confirm it." The scene shifts to the white lions, led by their king, Kyros. It is revealed that the lion Mufasa killed was Kyros' son. The lion who fled the fight informs Kyros that the one who killed his son might be the prince of the nearby Pride. Furious at this failure, Kyros orders his pack to kill the cowardly lion. Meanwhile, the scout sent by by Ubasai spies on Kyros' pride and sees their strength. He rushes back to Ubasai and reports, "Their lions are incredibly powerful. 2 of our lions would barely match one of theirs. We cannot fight them." Hearing this, Ubasai calls his son, Taka, and says, "If you wish to become the future leader, you must leave this land for now. Staying here will put your life in danger." The next morning, Esh speaks to Taka and Mufasa. She tells them, "You must travel to the place of light called Malil. There, you will find a safe and better life." Taka feels ashamed for abandoning them during the earlier attack, but Esh reassures him, "You will have your chance to show your bravery, but for now, you must leave this place, or they will hunt you down." Kyros and his pride arrive at Ubasai's territory, surrounding the lions completely. Kyros declares, "Wherever the sunlight touches, it shall all belong to me." Ubasai calmly replies, "We have no interest in fighting you." Kyros, glaring, demands, "I want the one who killed my son. Where is he?" Ubasai denies knowing who Kyros is talking about, but Kyros is unconvinced. Kyros commands his lions, "Search the area. Find the one who killed my son. I will have my revenge." Meanwhile, Taka and Mufasa, who had not traveled far, sense danger. The white lions pick up their scent and begin tracking them. Mufasa notices their approach and warns Taka, "They're here. We have to fight. If we keep running, we'll only tire ourselves out and die." Taka replies, "We can't fight them. We'll lose for sure. Running is our only chance." Just then, Kyros himself appears, towering over them. He growls, "Which one of you killed my son?" Mufasa steps forward and admits, "I killed your son." Taka is innocent. Let him go. The lionesses, however, realize that Mufasa is a stray, while Taka carries royal blood as Ubasai's son. Instead of attacking Mufasa, they target Taka. Taka and Mufasa run for their lives until they reach the edge of a cliff. With nowhere else to go, Taka grabs Mufasa and leaps into the river below. The 2 brothers are carried away by the powerful waterfall. Meanwhile, Kyros orders, "Search the riverbanks and find them." Night falls, and Taka and Mufasa begin searching for food. They catch the scent of another lion nearby. They discover a lioness hiding behind bushes. Her name was Sarabi, and she tells them that the fear of the white lions has spread everywhere. "They have separated my people from me." At that moment, Saju arrives, who was with Sarabi. He worked as a spy. Mufasa explains, "We're heading to Malil. If you want, you can join us." Sarabi agrees. Not far from there, they spot a tree full of monkeys. Among them is Rafiki. However, the other monkeys dislike him. Rafiki notices the lions approaching and tries to avoid them, knowing that they might attack. But when the lions corner him, Rafiki boldly says, "You're heading to Malil, aren't you? I've been there many times and know the way better than anyone." The lions decide not to harm Rafiki. Mufasa asks, "Can you really guide us to Malil?" Rafiki says, "My brother is still at Malil. That's why I'm going there, to meet him. I know the way perfectly and can take you there." What the group doesn't know is that Rafiki is lying about having a brother. However, he genuinely knows the path to Malil. The next morning, as the group rests briefly, Sarabi sniffs the air and senses danger. "The white lions are still tracking us," she warns. "We need to move now." As they resume their journey, Taka says, "I think I'm falling for Sarabi. There's no one like her. She's strong, smart, and whenever she's near, I forget everything else. But I don't know how to approach her. What should I do?" Mufasa smirks. "When she passed by earlier, I noticed fragrance of flowers coming from her. That probably means she comes from a place surrounded by flowers. Mention it." Taka approaches Sarabi. He starts nervously. "I couldn't help but notice your scent. It's like flowers blooming in spring. It's really amazing." Sarabi says, "Yes, the place I used to call home was full of flowers." Taka smiles, feeling a small connection forming. The group soon came across a large herd of elephants. Suddenly, Mufasa noticed that the white lions were dangerously close. The astonishing part was how these lions easily leapt across the areas that the group had taken hours to cross. It was clear the group needed to come up with a plan quickly to escape. Sarabi climbed a nearby tree and spotted a large beehive hanging from one of the branches. She pushed it down, and as it crashed to the ground, the bees swarmed the area. Elephants panicked and began running wildly. The white lions was now close. The group took advantage of the chaos to run farther. However, as Sarabi hung from the tree, the branch snapped, and she fell into the middle of the rampaging elephants. Mufasa pulled her aside just in time to save her from the stampede of elephants. The bridge connecting 2 cliffs crumbled under the pressure. This collapse created a barrier, preventing the white lions from pursuing them further. As the elephants moved on, Rafiki quickly rushed to Sarabi's side and used his skills to tend to her injuries. Slowly, Sarabi regained consciousness. When she opened her eyes, she asked weakly, "Who saved me?" Before Taka could respond, Mufasa stepped in and said, "It was Taka. He risked his life to save you." Taka looked at Mufasa in surprise, but didn't say anything. Sarabi stepped forward, her eyes filled with gratitude, and said, "Thank you, Taka. You saved my life." While Rafiki watched the scene with pride, recognizing Mufasa's selflessness in giving credit to his brother. However, as they climbed the snowy mountains, their footprints in the snow left a clear trail for their enemies to follow. Mufasa turned to Saju and said, "You will cover our tracks." Saju goes and drops snow to erase the footprints. Because of this, the footprints disappear. When the white lions arrive there, they cannot see the footprints and become frustrated. However, these people were now safe because the white lions stopped chasing them due to the absence of footprints. However, during this time, Mufasa says and does certain things, which makes Sarabi realize that it wasn't Taka who saved her life, but Mufasa. Sarabi decided to confront Mufasa. One night, when everyone else was resting, Sarabi called Mufasa and said, "I know the truth. It was you who saved my life, not Taka." Mufasa hesitated for a moment, then quietly responded, "Taka likes you, and I wanted to give him hope." Sarabi took a deep breath and replied, "I'll always be grateful for what you did for me, but there was no need to hide the truth." Mufasa smiled and said, "Maybe you're right." Taka, standing at a distance, watched as Sarabi and Mufasa grew closer, a growing bond between them. He couldn't bear it anymore. His anger intensified as he recalled his father's words, "One day, Mufasa will take everything from you." Taka's jealousy and frustration boiled over. Determined to get revenge, Taka went to Kyros and said, "It's true that I'm the son of the king, but it was Mufasa who killed your son. If you want revenge for your son's death, I'm ready to join you. I too want to take my revenge. Mufasa has taken everything from me, my parents, my pride. You don't know where Mufasa is now, but I can help you find him." Kyros looked at Taka with suspicion, but his desire for revenge was stronger. He said, "If you're serious, then we'll join forces." Taka knew that with Kyros' help, he could finally get the revenge. Taka, having set his trap, was now preparing to lead Kyros to Mufasa. When Taka returned, he simply said, "I went hunting, but I didn't find anything." After crossing a few more mountains, they finally arrived at Malil. Mufasa felt immense joy as he gazed upon the land. This was the place he had always dreamed of visiting with his parents. It was a peaceful land, filled with animals living their lives in harmony. But just as Mufasa was soaking in the beauty of the place, an unexpectedly Kyros appeared. Seeing him, all the animals become very scared. At this time, Mufasa was unaware of how Kyros had reached there. Just then, Taka appears, and Mufasa learns that Taka was behind it all. Now, Kyros attacks Mufasa to avenge his son's death. Mufasa leads him away and pushes him down. Due to the fall, Mufasa gets some time and goes to the animals, telling them, "If you don't stand with me today, tomorrow they will eat your children. There's still time. You are not weak. Together, you can drive them away." Kyros wanted to hunt Mufasa alone, so he attacked him. It was clear that Mufasa was no match for Kyros, as Kyros was extremely powerful. He continuously attacked Mufasa, leaving him injured and fallen. Taka had been watching their fight for a long time and began to think about Mufasa. To save him, Taka steps in and gets injured, saying, "Don't kill him, let him go." But Kyros was relentless. He wanted revenge. Because of this, Taka and Mufasa joined forces to fight him. Meanwhile, Rafiki notices that the ground suddenly starts shaking. The land begins to crack and sink. Due to the breaking ground, both Kyros and Mufasa fall into the ocean. Mufasa sees another large rock falling toward them. Taking the opportunity, he pushes Kyros, causing him to get crushed under the rock. Afterward, Taka pulls Mufasa out of the water. With Kyros gone, all the animals present declare Mufasa the king of the land. At this point, Mufasa is reunited with his long-lost mother. She recognizes him by his name and realizes he is her son. Mufasa also learns that his father is no longer alive, which saddens him. Sometime later, Taka approaches Mufasa and apologizes for everything he has done. The other animals suggest banishing Taka for siding with the enemy, but Mufasa declares, "As long as I am king, my brother will remain here." However, Mufasa also tells Taka, "From now on, don't even take my name." Hearing this, Taka responds, "Fine, from today, I will be known as Scar." After this, Mufasa becomes the king, but Scar hides himself behind the mountains, living a life of anonymity. Finally, Rafiki tells the entire story to Kiera. After the story ends, we see Simba return, having also brought back Kiera's mother. Kiera discovers she has a brother and says to him, "Come, let me tell you a story." With this, the story ends.